So I want to do a two-part video. Um, the first part I want to do is whose fault is it regarding to the men and the woman war that's going on. Women are really coming for the men and the men are coming for the women. Whose fault is it? And secondly, what are we going to do about it? So this video is actually going to be talking about whose fault is it. And I know some people may say, why are we trying to place blame? What's the point of that? Because anything in life, this is my true belief, anything in life, if you expect change, if you expect something to be different from what it is, we have to be accountable for what's going on in the world. We got to be accountable for our actions. You cannot expect anyone to ever be able to truly change, to make a difference in their society, in their marriage, in their family, or whatever it is, unless you are first accountable for what you did. You have to own up to it. Why do you think at AAA meetings they say the first thing, my name is Christina and I'm an alcoholic? You have to first admit it. You have to acknowledge. I am whatever. I am a liar. I am a thief. I am a deceiver. I am selfish. I do not care about anyone but myself. You have to first acknowledge that. Once you acknowledge who and what you truly are, then you can start making steps to move forward to actually change these things. So, the question that I propose to you guys is, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that women and men are at a point where we can't even stay married? We can't even raise children together. We are literally killing each other. A woman just a couple days ago ran a man over 3 times because she found out he was cheating on her after putting a tracking device on his car. Yeah, and we know the stories about men. It was a woman a few weeks ago. A man killed her and then had a heart attack after killing her, trying to bury her body in his backyard, and they found him dead. So men are killing women. Women are killing men. We can't seem to communicate, get along with each other. It's bad. But the most important thing is, before we can fix anything, we have to be accountable for our actions. We have to own up for what it is we are doing. So what are we doing, people? So let's hit 2 points. We're going to hit the women's part and the men's part. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the brothers. And this is important because what you must understand is, men are our leaders. I don't care what you say. They are bigger. They are stronger. And not only that, they are more logical thinkers than we are. So stop trying to make these excuses as if, oh, I can do what they can do. I can be what they can be. No, you cannot. You are not built that way. You are not made that way. So stop it. Men are bigger and stronger, and they're much logical thinkers than us. So when it comes to the critical and most important things, as far as running this society and this world that we live in, that they have privileged us to be in, it is them that do it. So once we give them their crown that they have earned and that they have deserved, it's not even that we're giving it to them, it's theirs. I hate the fact when I hear women say, they can't handle me, or I'll submit if they're this way. It doesn't work that way, baby girl. They have earned their spot, okay? You are not some person holding the crown and saying, I'll decide whether you get it. It doesn't work that way, baby girl. That's their crown. That's their crown. That's their pants, okay? So they have their crown. Once you give a man their crown, or even, it's not even given to them, it's their crown. They are now responsible for everything that happens underneath that kingdom. See, what we cannot do is say, men are our leaders, our providers, our protectors. It's their world. If it wasn't for them, we can't live in it. But then once everything hits the freaking roof and starts burning down, well, women are rebellious. Yes, they're rebellious. Yes, they're out of control. Yes, they're not listening. Yes, they're disobedient. But how did they get this way? These women was once daughters. They were once nieces. They were once granddaughters. They were once little girls and children and child, right? How did they get this way? What is going on? So you can't sit here and say, well, a single parent household and mothers raising them this way. Well, why are mothers raising children by themselves? And you can say, well, they're out there sleeping with all these different men and choosing the wrong men. Okay, these wrong men, who are they? And let's say we put those wrong men aside. So you don't got uncles? You don't got brothers? You don't got father? Nothing? How many of you guys have went to, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in the black community because I'm black, believe it or not. Surprise. Yes, I'm black. So I grew up in my community with my people. And I can tell you, I went to many festivals and parties and events where little girls was out there half naked, shaking booty and busting it loose, okay? And when I say little girls, I'm talking about 8, 9, 7, 6, 11, 12-year-old little girls are busting it wide open. And men are crowded around like nothing is wrong. DJ dropping them hits while they dropping they behinds. How is that okay? You see what I'm saying? So even if there's no father within that perimeter of that home, where are our uncles and our men and our brothers? Where are they at? How are they sitting back going to these type of environments and events and seeing this stuff going on and not saying anything? We need to stop making excuses for their behavior. Our men need to be accountable for what they're doing. You are watching these women be destroyed right in front of our eyes. And in some cases, you men are actually creating what it is that you see today that you don't like. You know how many young girls within the black community are molested and abused? I was a victim of that, okay? I can tell you, okay? And I'm holding back tears now because I don't feel comfortable even talking about it online. But it is what it is. In order to reach the people to make a difference, we have to make a stand. So these brothers are not only sitting back and not standing up and saying something about what's going on in their community, they're also making the situation worse by touching, hurting, and molesting these young little girls. And then when these little girls grow up into women and they choose these wrong men and they procreate with 4 or 5 different baby daddies, and then they end up saying, well, I don't need a man, I can do it on my own because I got a job and a degree and a position. Then they say, who do you think you are? Submit to me. It doesn't work that way, brothers. If you want these women to start making a change and start actually seeing better women out there that's able to be submissive and to be women and to be a wife one day, well, then you have to start with you. You have to start making better choices with whom you choose to procreate with. You have to make better choices to when you're around these certain events and these parties and thinking that it's okay that you can just show up to these places and see these little girls half naked and sitting there drinking and smoking and acting like it's fine. Well, it's not. Listening to these songs, women are calling themselves H's and men are calling women's B. It's not okay. And we need to start standing up. Stop waiting for someone to come in our communities and somehow fix our problems. We need to fix our own problems. And until we turn away from all of that and start working on ourselves and looking in the mirror and seeing what it is that we need to change, our war will continue to happen between women and between men. We need to make a difference. We cannot continue to keep trying to blame the other person. We are all at fault and we all have problems and we all have things that we need to individually work on. But moving forward, in order for us to truly make a difference within this war between women and men, it is important that we hold up to our standards and our accountability and take responsibility for what we failed and what we did wrong. So men, this is on you. You are our leaders. You are our providers. You are our head. And you have dropped the ball tremendously. And until you make the difference as our leaders and our head and our providers, this world will continue going down the way that it is. And the world will continue happening. Because women, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want to admit it or not, we are followers. That's how we are. I know this is going to be controversial and you're not going to, oh, whatever, I don't follow nobody. Yes, you do. You do. We mimic and we follow the men that we procreate with, that we have relationships with. That's what we do. And we're damn good at it. And we're great supporters and providers because that's what it is. We support our men. We provide for our men. We help our men. Okay? We pull them up out of that ditch when they fall in and they feel like I can't deal with it anymore because this war is hard on our brothers. They have no mercy for our brothers. They do not care. So they need a strong sister behind them saying, I care and I'm here for you, and I'm going to reach my hand out and I'm going to pull you out. That's what we're made for. That's what we're created for. Women was made for men. Men were not made for women. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. We are put on a pedestal. We are like a china that is sensitive and that can break easily. We are not meant to be out for anyone to touch and to grab. Our body count is important. When someone says, what's your body count? You say, well, you can do it, but I can't. That's foolishness. So we're going to get into the women now. You are not a man. Get it out your mind. Stop being twisted or delusional. You cannot have what men have. You cannot be what men have. One of the biggest thing I hear is women say, oh, well, men can sleep with a bunch of women and they still can, but women sleep with a bunch of men. It's a problem. It's a double standard. Yes, it's a double standard. It has always been a double standard. Where in your mind do you not realize it's a double standard? See, when double standard works for you, it's okay. When you get in that club for free, double standard's fine. When the car door's open for you, double standard's fine. When he pulls a chair out for you, double standard's fine. When he pays a check for you, double standard's fine. See, double standard is fine when it benefits you. But when double standard does not benefit you, then all of a sudden it's equality. Stop it. It is not equality. We are not the same. And we are not meant to be the same. That is foolishness. We are different for a reason. So when we come together, we make a fullness and a wholeness of prosperity for our children and our future and our community. So stop it, women. You are not the same. The fact that you can't sleep with 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 men and not be considered a hoe, but a man isn't, is a good thing. You should not be proud that you can have a tremendous amount of body count of men that have went into you. And you compare it to a man as if it's okay. It's not okay. And you should be happy and proud that men perceive you that way. If you women do not stop behaving the way that you're behaving, you're going to create a society in which you will lose all that you have been blessed with. You have been blessed and fortunate to have a society where men cater to you, respect you, and love you. Now, I know there are a lot of things going on in the world where you would say, well, that's not true. But it is. It is. It's so many cases where women have yelled rape with no evidence and proof, and the man get locked up immediately. Immediately. He hit me, locked up immediately. No evidence, no proof on it. Immediately. This world has catered to us and our needs and what we want. And if you do not submit yourself and humble yourself and stop trying to be equal to a man when you are not, you're going to take all that away. They're going to stop all the things that they see. I speak to my husband all the time about stories that we hear on YouTube and on news, and he always has his sensitive and heart towards women. The woman would do the cruelest thing and he'll say, well, maybe she didn't do it on purpose. Yes, she was wrong, but she did it. What are you talking about? No, she knew what she was doing. Based on her actions, she premeditated this before she did it. What do you mean she didn't mean it? And I have to check him. So men still have a soft heart for us. They still have a heart for us and a love for us. And they don't want us to see us destroyed. I want to see us, in a negative way. But if we continue this idea that we are equal to them and that somehow we're able to behave in the way that they behave and they have the same accountability, is foolishness, because you like double standard when it works for you, but you don't like it when it doesn't. And that is hypocrisy in its perfect form. Women, stop it. You have a head, whether it be your father, your brother, or your husband. He is your head. Allow him to lead you. Allow him to be the provider that he's meant to be. And it's okay to help. It's okay to support. That's what we're made for. We're the best at it. It's what we do. And be proud of it. I'm proud to take care of my husband. I'm proud of it. And he's proud to take care of me. I depend on my husband. This idea that you ain't supposed to depend on nobody, it's foolish. We have depended on people our entire life. When you came into this earth as a child, which you can't even remember when you were a baby, you depended on someone to feed you, change you, and clothe you. Did you not? We have depended on people our whole life. I depend on my husband to provide for me, to protect me, and to lead me. And my husband depends on me to pack him a lunch, keep the house clean, and to be there for him when he needs a listening ear, or when he's looking at something a little too technical and he needs a little bit more outside view or opinion of it. He comes to me with his concerns and his thoughts and his views. He comes to me with his deepest, darkest feelings and emotions. He's vulnerable to me. And men are not like that, because women are so quick to just that Men are cautious of those things, but I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have a husband that's willing to open up to me, to reach to me. Why? Because I've showed him that I don't use his worstest mistakes and his worstest decisions against him to belittle him and to disrespect him. And as women, we need to do better. We need to submit to our husbands, our fathers, and our brothers. And we need to allow them to lead us in the right direction. We need to make better choices to who we choose to align ourselves with and to be around. We need to stop making excuses for the bad choices that we've made and start owning up for our own choices and being accountable for our decisions. And if we choose to do that, as far as men and women, the things that I've discussed today, I think once we are accountable for what we did and we own up for those things, I believe that then we can start moving forward into what is the answer? What is it that we can do now to fix this problem between women and men war?